Welcome to our virtual history tour of Fort Mitchell. This summer, we explore the history and stories of houses and families in Fort Mitchell. We will post a new video every Friday in June and July highlighting a new house and its history. Videos will be posted to our Facebook group, Kenton Library Archives, and our Kenton County Public Library YouTube channel. We will also have a special tour-related post on our Instagram account, Kenton Library Archives. Our stop today is 63 Fort Mitchell Avenue. In 1904, the plat was filed in Kenton County describing lots that form the town of Fort Mitchell. Near the Covington and Erlanger streetcar right-of-way that bisected the town were two of those, numbered 101 and 102. The adjacent lots formed a triangle rather than the more common rectangular lots. They were situated on Sanford Street, which would be renamed Iris Road. Robert L. Crigler inherited a wholesale whiskey business from his uncle in 1905. Among Crigler's additional business interests, he speculated in buying land in the new Fort Mitchell subdivision. Some of his purchases were Lot 101 and 102. Crigler bought 101 from J.L. and Nellie Newhall in 1911. As part of the agreement, Crigler was not to build a house valued at less than $3,000 on the site, and any structure built had to face Fort Mitchell Avenue, not Sanford Street. Crigler kept 102 for himself, but in June 1923 sold Lot 101, the corner lot bounded by Fort Mitchell Avenue, Sanford Street, and the streetcar right-of-way. The address was 63 Fort Mitchell Avenue. George Freeman Eaton, Jr. purchased it for $16,500. George Eaton was born in 1879 in Covington. He was educated at Princeton University, graduating in 1902. George married Covington native Mary Elizabeth Coombs in 1910. Mary and George had two children, George Bristow, born in 1913, and Jane Beatrice, born in 1916. In 1916, George founded Eaton Oil Works, a business that oiled the dusty streets and roadways of northern Kentucky. The company eventually became Eaton Asphalt, which is still in operation today. The Eatons already lived in Fort Mitchell when they purchased 63 Fort Mitchell Avenue. George and Mary, then their daughter Jane, and her husband Clinton White would occupy the home for the next 74 years. The Eatons and their home were covered regularly in news items reporting events from Bridge Club to Daughters of the American Revolution meetings to luncheons and festive parties like the ones celebrating their daughters coming out into society and their son's engagement. In 1935, debutante Jane Eaton was photographed posing at the foot of the home staircase before attending her coming out party at Fort Mitchell Country Club. Following Jane Eaton and Clinton White's marriage in June 1946, they lived at and raised their two children at 63 Fort Mitchell Avenue. George died unexpectedly on July 7, 1949, while vacationing at their private resort in McGregor Bay, Ontario, Canada. After he died, Jane and Clinton continued to live with her mother and raise their children at the family home. For some years after her husband passed away, Mary Eaton hosted a women's golf tournament in memory of her husband at the Fort Mitchell Country Club. When Mary turned 100 years old, the Fort Mitchell Garden Club honored her with a garden party to celebrate the occasion. Jane's husband Clinton died in 1991, and her mother Mary died in 1992 at 105 years old. Jane sold the house after that in 1997. When the Fort Mitchell neighborhood was nominated for the National Register of Historic Places in 1989, The Eaton house was described as a turn-of-the-century vernacular frame dwelling, 2 stories high, with a very low pitched roof and exposed rafter tails. A veranda of simple design surrounds the north and west elevations. Over the past 26 years, new owners have extensively improved and renovated the home, preserving the Eaton house as a tasteful example of old Fort Mitchell architecture. If you'd like assistance with researching your own historic Kenton County property or family, you can make a one-on-one research assistance appointment by calling 859-962-4070 or emailing history@kentonlibrary.org. Thank you for joining us today on our virtual history tour.